So we've built a fully-fledged application on using Solidity and React Native, React JS, and now we want to see how we can be able to build the backend of a smart using the already existing tools, that is the Celo contract kit, using the Celo contract kit to send and test and transfer cUSD and get accounts balance. So we've already done the introduction part. And then so that we can be able to continue. So I'm looking for the folder, the one that has the oh yeah, I see. So send Celo. Okay, so we did an introduction. So I'm hoping that everybody who was not there yesterday have already installed Node.js and they have npm installed in their system. And so the objective is to connect to a Celo test network called Alphaholes, and then we will be able to get test cUSD and Celo from the faucets, and then we'll be able to read account and contract information of the test network, and then we'll do the transferring of Celo and cUSD on the test network. So already we have done that. So you can, for getting to speed with us, you can actually git cron this one, and then you will be up to speed with us. Yeah, so right now we are at this point. So we did big number. We got the balance of the account, and we converted the big number to a number which is of base 2, which is much easier for human. It's human readable. And then the balance of the functions, the balance of we were able to do that, to interact with the different functions. So today, what I want us to do, I want us to create an account by generating a private key, and then we will fund that account and then sign a transaction to the network. So we will be done. We will be done with this tutorial by today. So yeah, then we can be able to view this account. So we've already done the account. So I'm gonna explain again what the getaccount.js does, and it has the secret key. So the code that I sent you yesterday, the getaccount.js, will be the one which will be creating or generating the wallet, will help us to generate the wallet. Now the wallet which will be generated will be stored in a .secret file, and .secret file, that's where the private key will be stored. We also create a random account if the file is empty. If the file is empty, we will create a random account in the script. So we will be using the web3.js to create a new private key and account pair. Then Web3, for those who don't know, is a popular JavaScript library for handling Ethereum related functionality. And it's Celo, since Celo is an EVM compatible blockchain, or a cousin of Ethereum, like we like to say. So this library works well for generating Celo account. This is not like the standard way for managing Celo account in a production environment. So the Celo wallet will manage accounts for you. Yeah. Then we have the private key account and the send transaction from account.address. We will be able to now create this. So we have already created it. We've named it index.js. We call it index.js. This will yeah. Then after that, we'll have to go to Celo faucets. we'll copy the randomly generated wallet account from the console, and then we'll do that. So let's do that. Let's dive deep into that. And yeah. So this is the application. So we had one function that we did yesterday. Git bash. So we had index.js, we had index.js, and we had imported Web3. We had initialized the contract kit to the test net. So if you're going to the live net, you will have to use Phono for that. And then now you have the contract. So this one, we had a function to read to read any account, and we were getting the balances of the cEURO gold cEURO. So I mentioned cEURO gold is a token that was used. cEURO gold was the initial name, but the community voted on the change of it to cEURO. Then we have cEURO, the stable coin, the cUSD, and then we have cEURO, and we also have cEURO real for Brazil, the stable currency for Brazil. Then we have, like the way we were doing on when we were using the smart contract, we were getting the contract ABIs. This one are the contract ABIs, and then we are getting the specific method. So from the token data, we are getting the balance of. Then we have the balance of the stable coin, the balance of the stable euro, and then we are passing in the account. So remember, we have our parameter here as our account, so that this function is more dynamic. We don't have to we can be able to use this function in a different in another application. Yeah. Then I'll console log in the balances, and then here we have our wallet address that we are using, and then we are now initializing the function and inputting the account there. So if we do yarn, I mean node index.js, we'll have the console, we'll have the console logs of the balances. So there, so we have the balances, and the balances are at least better now, because the other time they were in big numbers. We couldn't be able to read them. They were so big, they were so huge. Yeah. So we can even go a step further and add like a decimal to 2 or to 2, and then we should be good. Okay, sorry for that. Let's just leave it at that point, because some things. Let's move on for now. So the second function we're going to write, we are going to write a function called so the first one was read account, the other one will be get balances. But before we do get the balances, we need to generate the addresses, the address. So we need to do node dot get account .js. So we should have an account. Let me just change this one to that, and then so that we can be able to do. Okay, so you need to change it under the package.json. it's not generating, so I'm not sure why. Okay, I get it now. So we need to access this from the.
I'll find a way to email this to all of you so that you have okay, so there's a few examples here. Yeah, I'll compile. So, Brenda, I had a place. I'm still trying to understand about the.
So we need to call it from the function that we are going to create. Yeah, so we need to light an async function here. Function called get balance. Then from get balance, we need to first of all create an account. So we will do let wallet be the account. Then we can console log the wallet here. So our wallet is that. Yeah, so let's first of all create the wallet. Then we need to call it, or we need use the function here. So get balance like that. And don't forget to save. So we do node dot index dot js. So get account is another function.
So even for our first program without having to find the why we did this? Because as you saw, we have one finance
Should be required. Okay. Yeah, dot get account, yeah, like that. Okay, so we are good now. So other change that I've made up there. So I've made a change, get account, so that we are able to access the get account, this function, so that we can be able to access this function. So this function, what it does, it's going to generate an Web3 accounts private key to account, then the data of the minimal, the phrase words to the hash, then store it inside the dot secret. So we're gonna see that right now. So don't forget to add the dot get account up here. And then we are calling the function here. So let me save. Then go to our app.
So we also have how best can our startup protected against that. Not only last year.
So node, and then we should have our app. So as you can see, we've console logged our wallet. So the function generates some few content. So it does not only generate the address and the private key, it also creates some other sign transaction, sign, and the encryption text. Yeah, so, and as you can see, the private key has been stored in .secret. So this is not the best way to do that. You need to create a system like a database where you can be able to store this private key. And then again, you have to remember, you have to make your application security. You have to beef up your security of the database, so that this private key does not get stolen. Yeah, but for the purposes of the learning processes, we are going to use this method. So this is the wallet address that has been generated and the private key, and you can actually access this object. So we can even go further to add address like that. And then we can continue with the script, and we will generate another wallet. So as you can see, we have now the specific wallet. We have the specific wallet that we have. We have the specific wallet now. We have been able to get the specific wallet instead of the object. If we did a private key, we did private key. So we're gonna be generating another one, but so the dot secret will be updating. Sorry, we don't have. Yeah, so as you can see, this is the private key, and it's the same one that we have here. It's the same private key that has been stored there, and it's the same. So now we know our function. So we know our function is working, and we need to now move on to the next part, that is getting the contract wrappers. So we are still going to get the contract, but in a different way. So it's the same way we did up here, but it now dynamically how you would do it in an application. So we have generated the wallet, and now we need to get the gold coin again. So we'll have the gold token, which is cEURO, and then we'll have the stable, and then we can have the euro again. So sorry if I'm doing it too fast. Then we can console log this. So this one will be 0 because we don't have any funds on the wallet. Yeah. Then remember how we did it? Wallet dot address. So this one will be empty. Then we'll have that one. the same way, and then we can console all this. Can do that. So these ones will be empty because they don't have any cUSD. So if you follow the other approach, you need to have a working wallet address, and then you can fund it. From this one. Celo faucets. So you can find it here for Celo on Celo faucets, and make sure that. So take a look at this balance and see if it will change the next time we load the application. Here, then node, and boom. So our wallet is that, and notice that our balance has changed. All the balances have changed because we have funded our account. So that's how you fund your account on testnet. So the next part will be now, we'll be creating a function for a sync function to send now the transaction.
So out of, I'm showing you, and then you guys can organize how the cost will be.
So we cannot move on to function send. Which will now have, will still access the same account, still have access to the same account, but this time we need to do some change. Get. Oh, we haven't saved. Okay.
How can I? Jordan, are you? The time when you sign it and also when you put it on, but you have to.
So we'll just call the text again, send. So we'll still have the same. We'll still have the same for the send. So we are getting the same address. And then we'll do Kit Connect. So every time you are doing a send, you need to, so whenever you're doing a send, you need to sign it using your private key. So every time you are sending a transaction, you need to you need to add the private key. So what we're going to do is we are going to do kit connection, which will be .add account. So .add account, let me show you what .add account does.
Please use this opportunity to pitch, use this opportunity to tell us how you operate. Pitch on.
So add account. So this is what .add account does. Yeah, this one. So we have kit connection package update that includes kit connection, kit connect.add account. So what they does, they help you to convert the private key to your address so that they can be able to sign you can be able to sign the transaction that you're doing on your application. So that's what we are going to do. So we're gonna access the wallet.private key. So wallet.private key. And then we need to define a wallet. Again, since we had defined the wallet, we don't need to define it again. We have it here. So that's why we defined it globally so that we can be able to access it anywhere. So what we'll do, we'll define the amount. So we'll have that amount which can be just 1,000. And then now we need to do, we need to get the contract wrappers. So we need to get the coin, the token data again for the 2 of the 3 of the currency that you're going to use. So we have euro, stable coin, and such. So from there, now we can now do the transfer. So we can do rate. The first one will be sending celo. So we'll be sending celo. So we'll call it TX underscore celo. So TX standing for transaction. We can even add it like that. So transfer from this wallet to this other wallet. So we need to do the other way around. We need to call it account. And then we add account there. Transferring from this, yeah.
So by tomorrow's session at 6:30, we'll have the link.
So we can first of all console log the first TX. We can first convert it. So something we need to do before that. Call it.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
We'll just call it celo underscore receipt. Receipt because it's the receipt of the transaction instead. Should be await tx celo dot wait receipt. Should be the other way. Wait. Yeah, wait. So we are waiting for this receipt. So receipt is the transaction hash that comes with every transaction. So if we go to Celo Explorer, go to Celo Explorer, this is what we can be able, we will be doing, or we will be getting once we do the transaction. So so this is the transaction hash. The transaction hash. Just sometimes it takes an arm and a leg. So this is what we are going to get once we do the transaction. So we'll have the transaction hash, the results, the block number, the timestamp from the tokens that have been transferred and such. So this one is a big one because it has gone through Uniswap. It has gone through Uniswap. So the transaction was a bit bigger. So someone converted Celo to mcUSD to Wave to lapped BTC to then mcUSD. So this guy did a really huge transaction. He converted a lot of things to Celo Real all the way to mcUSD. You can see the entire transaction. So yeah, he did a lot of, the person did a lot of transaction, as you can see. So this is what we are going to get, and that's what we are calling it, transaction receipt. Getting it as transaction receipt. So we will change this one to Celo receipt, like that. Then we can call our function here down. It's called send with the account that we want to send to. So yeah, so we should be good now. Then we can clear. We can do node. And we have a problem. So you got transfer, got 3 parameter to send account. We have, should be having to, don't know why it's saying that it's got 3 parameters. Supposed to have an address. Transfer gold token dot transfer amount account dot address. This one is a wait contract gold token, and then here we have wait transfer account from dot address. First of all, console this so that we have the wallet. Yeah, it's supposed to be account, but get account. Hmm. But it's supposed to be gold token and then transfer and then account and then amount. Oh yeah, I know the reason why. Sorry guys. It's supposed to be send. Supposed to be like that and then dot send. Yeah, dot send. Yeah, it should be like that. So make sure you change that bit. So transfer is supposed to have 2 parameters, but we were passing in 3 parameters. So the last one should be dot send. So you remember dot send is like post. So we want to broadcast this transaction from this particular address. This address is the one which is will be sending the tokens to this account and the amount. Yeah. So we should be good now. So what I will do, let me just have a good, we'll have an error. It will throw an error because the balance is, we have less balance. So we have a balance. We don't have a balance in the wallet that we have created this one. So I'm gonna go back to the faucets and add, yes. So we're gonna add some faucets. So you're going back to the faucets, Celo. Funds, yeah. So Celo, faucets, and then funds, and then not a robot, then get fund. So sometimes it takes time, send. Since we had an error for that, like we are trying to send an amount that is not in our balance, so the transaction cannot go. So it's already inbuilt in the smart contract. Yeah. So let me clear this part. Clear like that. Then now we can do node index dot js. Should be good. Yeah. So the transaction has gone. And as you can see, we have now generated our transaction receipt. So this is what we have now. So we have the block hash, we have the block number, contract address, from which wallet to this wallet, to that wallet. Yeah. So from this all the way. So if we take this, a minute. So we have the transaction hash now. So we have the amount that has been transferred, supposed to be transfer. We have the emitted event, that is the transfer event. And yeah, so we can take this transaction hash. I was looking for the transaction hash. Yeah, copy transaction hash. Then we go to the test net. The test net and check if the transaction was completed. So you can paste the we can paste the address there, and as you can see, we have it. So it was 7 minutes ago. So this is the transaction that we have done. So we have transferred 0.0000 celo from this wallet address to this wallet address. So we can do another transaction now. This time we're going to add a much bigger amount. That will make one 10 something. Yeah, that will be okay. So we can do the same for the other transactions now. So we can do the same for the stable coin, but there is something we are going to add. So we are going to add something on the, which is amazing, because we are going to add the fee currency. So let's say you are sending all the amount of your the entire cUSD, and you don't have enough to pay for your. So if you have used Ethereum and you're sending your 1 ETH, or let's say you are DAI, you'll have to use ETH to send that DAI. If you are sending there is no way you can be able to pay for the gas fee using the DAI. So you must have ETH to send that DAI. So Celo is able to leverage on the fee currency, or has a unique feature called fee currency, whereby you can be able to pay your transaction fee in another coin. So like let's say you want to send Celo and you don't want to use C Gold, and you don't have Celo Gold, so you'll do stable token dot the address of that particular address. So you'll notice there is a difference between these two transactions. So we're gonna do them together so that we can be able to see the differences. Yeah. So let me expand this one so that you can be able to see everything. Yeah. So we have our wallet, we have the balances, and then it's taking a few time for the two transactions. So notice the two transactions have a difference. So we have this one because it's the one for Celo, and then we have this other one which is also a bit different from the other one because yeah. So if we take the transaction hash for the second one, this one, there is a difference in the output, see, but not that big of a difference. Yeah. So this one does not have, it has events, but this one also has events, but yeah, it also has a lot of other things. Yeah. So if we take the transaction fee, we'll be able to see the same. Yeah. So this is the transaction that we have made right now, and you can see the time. the transaction fee and the value and yeah, and such. So that's how you do the transaction, and that's how you, so we can actually get the now from this data that we have, since we have the transaction receipt, we can basically get now the transaction hash. So to do that, we just do either block hash, all gas used, all fee currency, all cumulative gas fee. So we can do that. We can either get any of this, but I'm going to get the transaction hash for both transaction hash for the two transaction. So now we won't have all this data that we had previously. So clear the node. And now we will only have the transaction hash. So we have the transaction hash now. So we only have the transaction hash, which the user now can be able to use to check whether the transaction was successful. So that's how you do send and getting the balances of a Celo contract. And yeah, so that was it. So we have completed the last bit. Yeah, we've actually completed the last bits of the presentation. So we've done the Alpha Horace faucets. We've also done the sending of coins. And we also have had the sending of using the fee currency. So this is what we have. So the send method accepts an option that allows you to specify the fee currency, which allows the sender to pay transaction fee in either in Celo or cUSD. The default fee currency by default is Celo. So other blockchain don't have this part where you have to specify which wallet address can pay for the transaction fee. So we've been able to do that in the tutorial. And more on the setting, we've also done the balance off. So we've gotten the balance after the send and everything. We've also gotten the, yeah. So we've seen the different outputs that have been done. So later on, when you start developing for production, you will need to have the following libraries installed. So you'll need to have Web3 Celo contract kit. You will also need to have Celo wallet ledger for connecting to different applications. So if you're doing a front-end application, you will need Celo wallet ledger and Celo contract kit, the way we were doing for the React application that we did. So let me then finally, we've actually covered all the aspects. So you can venture more and go into the world and see different applications, how they work, and try to copy, like try to learn from how the application work. Yeah, how the applications work. So in conclusion, we have been able to accomplish a lot. So we have been able to know how to install and set up Celo, the contract kit. We have been able to also to connect to the Celo Alpha Horace network. We've also been able to get the Celo contract wrappers, and we've also been able to do the balances using the Celo wrappers, and we've been able to generate account in Celo and funding the account and also sending Celo. So one of the website that you can maybe take a look at is Ubisoft. Let's take a look at ubisoft.app. And then give you like a glimpse. So you see this one is already trying to connect to the wallet that I have. So I can either connect to this or a different wallet. So if I cancel and I try to connect, it will give me a pop-up of different wallets that I can connect to. So you can use Varola, you can use cEURO extension wallet or Wallet Connect or Ledger or MetaMask. So there is another package called Use Contract Kit, which is amazing for front-end developers. So it's called Use Contract Kit, this one. So it's an awesome, if you go to the example they have given, it's a really excellent. So if you connect, it will give you the same. So they use this library. So let me share these links on the chat. So you can experiment more on this and use it to create a dynamic application. Because we have all these users who have Varola, but they don't want to create new accounts. We have other users who are on cEURO extension wallet. We have others who are on MetaMask, and they don't want to actually share, like change their wallet addresses. They don't want to do that. So what do? You use cEURO Wallet Connect, and then you can be able to select a different wallet. So you wrap all your application. You wrap your application the way we do with it with React navigation. Yeah.
The links or the connection with these people. So you just started with like 2 artists, and then from there,
yeah. So the way we do with React navigation. So this one. So there is an application and router. So it's called React router. So React router is the one that helps you to do navigation links and nested routes. So you wrap it the same way you would wrap the navigation. So these kind of navigations that we have here, so the same you do to your account, so that the first thing the user does is to connect to the wallet, to connect to our wallet. Yeah. So if someone has a question, this is the right moment to ask. And yeah. So if you have a question, kindly don't be shy to ask. Hello. Hello. Hi, Diram. Hi, Diram. Diram, can you hear me? Emmanuel. Hello. If there is no question, then we can stop from there. Let's meet on Friday as we conclude the session, as we Yes, Diram.
Sorry, I had internet issues.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So we have the last class on Friday.
Yeah, the last session will be on Friday. We'll have someone coming in, and yeah. Then coming month we will have more of on workshops. We'll have more workshops. We'll have a lot of workshops. Let me stop this.